All right, it's WNCW, one from Towns Van Zandt. A classic, beautiful song there. It's called No Lonesome Tune. And now in Studio B, my name is Roland Duroff. We got live music today with Marco Benevento and the trio. Hey, Marco.
How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to get a song, but first you got to tell me about the piano. It's a cool-looking piano you're on there.
This cool-looking piano I found on Craigslist, and they made these pianos this size in the 20s. This is a 61-note upright piano. This particular piano was made in 1927 and was made for train cars. I wish they made them new because I had to sort of rebuild this one.
I was going to say, were the red keys original?
The red keys were original, yeah.
Yeah.
But the LEDs inside were not.
I was going to say, there's a lot of little boxes on there that I don't think were on the train back in 1927. So.
Well, yeah. I guess 80 years later, this piano is now being run into various distortion pedals and delay pedals and amplifiers. So.
It's just that sweet little melody. Is that where it starts?
Some of the songs on the disc are more like loop-oriented song kind of styling, songwriting.
Right.
But some aren't as well. But it's an influence that I think I would say came from a band that I've been listening to lately from Germany called Can, and some of their tunes are just these relentless 7-minute or 12-minute sort of loops with little subtle changes. I find that style of songwriting can be pretty effective, especially at a live show when you're, maybe there's a drum solo for one song, and there's a nice piano solo, there's lots of parts, different interactions happening. It's nice to have a tune where you almost sort of tune out, and sometimes when you tune out, some of the best stuff comes to you, So, and I feel that as a songwriter and as someone who makes records, it's hard to tune out when you're in the recording studio because you wanna tune in your tune, But something about the sort of open-endedness of a jam like this, I don't know, it's as satisfying as a song like that has more parts to it or something, like a verse and chorus kind of song.
Talk a little bit about the way you made this record. It took a lot of time and several parts and remixing and stuff like that. And the balance between spontaneity and that kind of control.
Yeah, the balance between spontaneity and control was my most favorite balance that I've had in a long time compared to the other records I've made. It was 50-50. Most of the time I go into a studio like 80 or 90%. We know what we're gonna play, kind of thing. This time it was like we had 2 days of recording where we knew what we were kind of doing, and then one day where we didn't know what we were doing, and we just sort of made stuff up, with the sketches that we had. And then I have a studio in my house that I would then take the jams to, and overdub stuff onto it, or cut it up and sort of try to compose it more. And that was it. It was 3 days of tracking, and then about 6 months of messing around at the Bat Cave.
How do you know you're done? How do you know that's it?
I talked to my friend Kevin Calabro, who runs the label with me, and I say, when do you want to put this out?
He says, Marco, you're done tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I need a deadline. I think people work well with limitations. It's also good to sit on a record for many years. I like putting stuff out there and just sort of releasing it. I call the studio that I go to in Brooklyn, I call it the House of Closure, because I like to, I go there, and if he has any ideas, if the day is almost done, when we've been working on the song for 8 hours, I mean, do it, finish it, and think about your next record is sort of my attitude a little bit, which is good and bad, I guess, but everybody's grown in their own way,
The songs out of the recording studio, off the record, and then you take them out live. Is this still kind of the same song, or do they get a whole new life? How does that translate?
There's a bit of different life happening live to the tunes, but for the most part, they stick true to the arrangement, and we listen to the record to sort of remind ourselves of almost sometimes how the song goes, just to maybe sometimes we drift live. You never know what someone may shout out, but or where the night will take us. But for the most part, there's a lot of other things happening around the trio on the records. Like, it's just piano, bass, and drum band. But there's like Casio keyboards and mellotrons and loops and stuff happening all around us. And we do that live with the help of this looper that I have here and with a computer and a keyboard that I have, as to fill it up a little bit more, so it's not just piano, bass, and drums. There's a little bit of ear candy, I like to call, and that stuff is really what I get. What makes me feel, gets my head spinning, gets me thinking about.
All right, it's WNCW, and again, Marco Benevento playing live today. Two of you. It's just another gorgeous song. It's ecstatic. Huh? How did that come about?
Well, I remember when I was talking to a friend of mine when I was in high school, and I was like, part of me wants to do this, and part of me wants to do that. And he's like, there are no parts of you. It's just you. And I was like, sort of thinking about that over the last 15 years. I was like, wait, I think there are different parts. Maybe I should see a therapist,
Yeah.
But
that's what music is, right?
But you're sort of, it's an imagination thing, I guess. You're one person and you're another, if I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like if you want to be a superhero, if there's a way you could be two people at once. But I don't know, that song sort of, it even has those parts. It's like one song, but it's also another song. It almost has two different colors in the song, and I thought that it fit the title, just the way it all worked out. And maybe it's okay to think there are two of you, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen to me? I'm scared.
You're sitting at the short piano, little upright piano, and you sit down at it and you get this massive sound, and there's all these boxes up there. Talk a little bit about how you're getting the sound, you're getting what you're doing.
Okay. This piano it's a regular upright size, so it's not like a spinet size first and foremost. It's a bigger sounding piano than the miniature pianos that are out there. There's like a Melodogrand, for example, is a smaller piano that's lower in height and only has 2 strings per note. This is the biggest sounding of the miniature pianos. So it has a big sound because the soundboard is relatively high. It's higher than a spinet. It's up to my eye level. And then second of all, there's a bunch of guitar pickups in it that I use to pick that I just stick to the soundboard. And then there's these custom pickups that are made by Charles Helpenstiel. They're called Helpenstiel piano pickups. They're pretty well known in the piano, especially the touring piano community, where you want to figure out how to. It's difficult to mic a piano and use it live with drums, playing rock, playing loud. So just over time, just finding ways to do that, I finally found a way, with guitar pickups and these Helpenstiel pickups. And then I have various signals running to the house, and then a signal going into a 4x10 cabinet right here, into an amp, because I like having just, an amp right near me like a guitarist would, or that's about it. All the stuff around it, the pedals, the distortion and delays are sort of picked because of, they may not work for other people, but they work for me in this unique situation. You can't go to a guitar store and say, I need a piano distortion pedal for my piano that I tour around with. And they're like, what? So, you have to figure out what pedals work for you, with your unique rig that you've built, sort of,
Let's talk about circuit bending a little bit.
Okay. Well, I got into circuit bending when I was on the road with Joe Russo, touring as the Benevento Russo duo. And we were in Chicago, and this guy came to our show, and he had a duffel bag filled with children's toys that had all these extra knobs on them, spray painted all these weird colors, had all these cool things on them, and a 1/4 out so you could plug them into an amp. So he had all these toys. They were like Casio keyboards or children's toys that were modified and whatnot. And you turn them on, they're little glitch boxes. It makes crazy sounds. You shake them, and it's just immediate fun with music, And it has that sort of 8-bit sound. I think, growing up playing video games and stuff, and Like maybe that's how my ears really like those sounds. I don't know, but I'm really into those sort of like crunchy 8-bit sort of thing out there. That could and of course the marriage of those sounds with the acoustic trio is also like a whole new thing. That's I like them on their own as sounds, and they could be used for various things, to compose, to embellish the already existing song. But what I found to be the most attractive thing about Circuit Bent Toys was the way you could use them as intros or outros for songs in this acoustic setting. Using a speak and spell to introduce the tune with another drum machine, and then the sort of band creeps in. I mean, it's just the little sort of production things that I.
Does it automatically kind of add, among other things, an element of humor? I mean, is that?
Yeah, I guess it does. I guess it does, and I'm a big fan of embracing stupidity, and using that sort of thing. But I mean, I guess I don't. It is sort of funny, Sometimes it could be humorous when you hear a children's toy go red, red, yellow, yellow, or something weird in the song. But yeah. Does it reminds you of being a kid and playing with toys.
It's a fun. I mean, I'm looking at the cover art on your CD, and people would check it out online, and it's it's almost like a big kid's illustration. The big flat planes of color, and just I don't know. The whole scene seems like
that's cool,
fun, and
that actually is a photo of a spray painted mural by my apartment in Brooklyn, right by a junkyard.
So you walk by that every day?
I walked by that. I actually took some photos there. It's pretty cool. It's a really amazing mural, and it has like two of my most favorite things on there: a keyboard and a half pipe.
That's right. But they're really bright and colorful.
Yeah. I thought it would fit this record totally, because the songs are a lot more upbeat and colorful and just different than the other records. The other two records I made.
More structured, more melody oriented. Seems like this time around.
Yeah, like almost easier to listen to, or looser, like we were talking about earlier, with the 50% prepared and then 50% not prepared in the studio. I think that helped, with the playfulness of it all, and the tunes are a little bit more like maybe like guitar friendly. You could just strum them and sing them, whereas some of the other songs are very piano specific, maybe.
Yeah, there are more hum-alongs on here.
Right.
For sure. Marco Benevento is playing live today. Who's in the band? Let's get a quick. Who's
we have Nick playing drums.
Hello.
Happy birthday, I think.
Thank you. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Nick.
His surprise is on the van, right? It's a big birthday. Also with Elvis Perkins and Deerland.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah, one of our favorite bands these days.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is the band coming by here soon?
We have no plans, but hopefully we will.
Cool.
We'd love to come down.
Sweet.
Yeah, man.
All right.
And then we have Dave Drywitz playing bass. There he is.
Dave of the band Ween, right?
Nope.
Yes, Dave of the greatest rock band in our time here.
Yeah. And the greatest bass player within that band.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree. We play Ween tunes. I've been listening to Ween for a long time. I totally dig that.
Yeah. What's going on with Ween, real quick?
Well, we just had a big Halloween show out in Colorado.
What was your
Dressed
costume?
as, white bunnies in white bunny suits. Lasted about one song.
Should we tell people what y'all are wearing today, or what costumes?
Going as Ronnie James Dio. With all love and respect.
Cool. Marco Benevento. We've got Dave Drywitz on bass and Nick Kinsey playing drums today. Mark Benevento on the upright piano. It's awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you can come again sometime. Good luck with the shows tonight.
Thanks.
All right, it's WNCW. We get to something a little more chaos. It's Charles Mingus on WNCW.